Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Pitstop Fracas. I am your host, Richard, and here today to, review today's madness, and that is, of course, the team principal silly season. So, of course, we had a few team principals getting moved about and, of course, leaving their post. Binotto, Frederic Vasseur, Jost Capito, just to name a few. And here to break down today's madness with me is none other than Mahad. How are we doing today, brother?
I'm all good, man. Here to review all this madness. We thought it would be off season and nothing happening, but clearly today went on a mad one. Actually, the last 24 hours has been mad. But yeah, we're here to talk all about it.
Yeah, let's talk all about Army. And next up is Kwame. How are we doing today, brother?
I'm not bad, man. Not bad. Could be a bit better, bit under the weather, but this silly season for team principals has got me excited. I can't lie. I didn't think this would happen, but yesterday, today, all the teams are kind of doing musical chairs with their team principals, and their CEOs as well to add. So be interesting to see what will happen, but we'll get into that for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. And last but not least is Tariq. How we doing, bro?
What was saying, man? Yeah, emergency pod needed the emergency members, so I had to show up. Formula One decided to spin all our heads on a regular old Tuesday morning, funnily enough. So, yeah, man, let's get into it.
Cool. Let's get into it. Let's start off with another than Mattia Binotto. So, as people may know, there's been a lot of rumors. Well, there was a lot of rumors about Mattia Binotto leaving this post, possibly maybe either resigning or getting sacked, whatever. And we then was linked to find out that he did apparently resign. I don't know whether that's just code talk for basically got sacked. But apparently one of the reasons is because John Elkann didn't have didn't give him the vote of confidence. So he thought, after 20 years of being with Ferrari, that he'd leave his post. So I'm gonna come to you on this, Kwame. What do you think of Mattia Binotto's tenure at Ferrari?
Kind of like Southgate for England. Long story short, it's a bit of a comparison, but I feel like in the sense that he led the foundations for this new kind of reg in that team. He's a guy who's been in the team for a long time, been the engineer since days of Michael Schumacher. Yes, he has improved the team from where they previously were, but but it's been no cigar. It's been close to no cigar, like in the sense that yes, this year they've got a faster car. Yes, this year, they're better in the sense of their race car. His proof he's got faster. We know he's an engineer. That's been good. But when it comes to strategies, they still haven't up to par, which has been a constant issue for Ferrari. They still got some unreliability in them as well. And yeah, I mean, people could say it is harsh because they were going the right direction, but for what happened this season, they should be much more close to Red Bull. So at the same time, as harsh as it is, I wasn't surprised when they sacked him. I wasn't like, oh wow, they sacked Binotto. I was like, okay, that's fair enough. It's kind of well deserved. The only issue with Ferrari, which we're going to, is who they got to replace him, because they weren't going to get Horner out of Red Bull. That's basically his team. Been since day dot to 05. Toto owns a third of Mercedes, so that ain't happening. The only other guy I think they could have got aside of, which seems like he went elsewhere, we should get on to. So, my opinion is, yes, give the Binotto, but you have to have a guy to replace him that's gone and preview to the next level, which I don't think they have done. So I don't think it was the right timing to sack him, but it's the fair choice, in my opinion.
Okay, Mahad, do you have any thoughts on Mattia Binotto basically resigning from his post? And do you think it was right for basically him and Ferrari to power company?
This is the history of Ferrari, guys. Mattia Binotto. He will be remembered, but not on the positive sides. Like, I think people will say, oh yeah, he's the guy that brought Ferrari back. But if you really look at it, he came in the first season, had an illegal engine, got his little 3 wins. You get me? Then the car sunk like a ship due to his own illegal engine, guys. Not so somebody else's fault. It's an engine that he developed the year before when Aruva Bene was there, yeah? So he got bagged doing illegal stuff. Then they went in the mud in 2020. 2021, little remontada, wasn't turning up to the track. We're working on the car, guys. Don't worry, we're cooking something crazy. Comes out Bahrain this year, dunks on everyone, 1-2. And then you just saw it all fall apart again, like it was 2019. So I want to know where this progress is, guys. Because how is this better than Vettel's stint in 2017 and 2018 in River Bene? What? Binotto hasn't done anything. He's like that meme, you know, when they said, my work here is done. And then they say, you haven't done anything. You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. He didn't actually change anything at that organization. He just exposed even more the flaws. He was hired within. Yeah, he was specialized in building engines and working on that, and he's been working there for a while. Even in Michael Schumacher days, that's his speciality. He's an engineer that's been moved into this position where you need to be an actual leader and like be a leader of men and actually run a team properly. He's not particularly good at that. And then they've gone and hired a guy that's not particularly good at that to replace him. So what is Ferrari gaining out of this? Ferrari getting rid of a guy that was a bozo and then bringing in another bozo. Still haven't got a leader. Still probably have all the same issues they've got. Just now you lack the expertise on the engine that's been built. That really has some potential within that. So yeah, rest in peace, Ferrari. Everybody's like, oh, Binotto, he can take a job somewhere else. He wasn't even considering in this team principal merry-go-round because he's not about that life. So I'm very much anti-Binotto. So rest in peace.
I mean, there's been a little bit of like Binotto to Williams chat, but I think that's just been all like gas anyway. But it would be very, very funny. That's the reason I mentioned it, because it would be super funny if that happened.
Thing with Binotto is like, I feel like he's been kind of very ingrained in the Ferrari kind of sphere. So it's weird. I don't picture him to go anywhere. I mean, he probably will do, but I don't at the moment picture him to go anywhere else. But what I'm about to add in it to this point with Ferrari is I don't think they've got like an ethos ingrained in the team. I feel like Elkman is just kind of just, you know, hiring again willy-nilly and just kind of sacking them willy-nilly if they're not playing to his rule book. And I feel like they're kind of, again, Ferrari's always been chopping and changing. You've had Riva Bene, Binotto. You've had nobody wants them because the old year before Elkman. Luca wants them. All these guys here, it's definitely going to Dominic Carlos, so I'm thinking of.
What's Elkman cooking? What's Elkman cooking?
And
what's he cooking at Juventus? What's he cooking at Ferrari? Like I said, put Weston McKennie as team principal. You might as well. He's on a joke, man.
Thank you for speaking like, because, yeah, because what I was about to say is because like there's been no structure, there's been no kind of coordination or anything, no plan in Ferrari. Like they say, are you on a 4-year plan, whatever, but like nothing is like at least with McLaren, Aston Martin, Red Bull, Mercedes, all these teams, even Williams, for example, I can see they had a plan. They had, we're gonna go for a guy who was part of this, you know, Volkswagen rallying team that did well, and we're gonna try and build something. Like Ferrari for me, it's just literally a bunch of in hires. Oh, this guy's next up. Let's pick him up. But what have they really, truly, and done in, you know, as a principal in the racing sphere? Bunch of yes men. Some of these questions for me and answers for me in Ferrari because I really don't know the answers. I don't know the question. I don't know what they're trying to do.
So basically, Kwame, you're saying that they're moving like United. Basically,
yeah.
What you're trying to
or
say.
Even Juventus. No, they're moving like United. Yeah. No pun intended, but yeah, like Mahad says, Juventus at the moment, how many million are they in debt? What was the strategy when there was
9 figures, bro?
Man?
Their strategy is
they'll run off on the plug, bro.
Apparently they're in danger of getting moved from Serie A to Serie B again, like it's 06.
That's crazy. But anyway, back to F1, yeah. Weston McKennie, innit? Weston McKennie for team principal.
Yeah.
Put him on a Jesse March thing, you get me?
Yeah, I agree still. I agree. Anyways, speaking of Binotto as well, certain man said if he goes Williams, they'll become champions within 3 years. So I mean,
that was so funny.
I just said that marinates in it. Like
Lord
yeah,
have
let's let them
mercy,
marry
man.
still. Hey, but
Listeners, let us know if you agree with that. If Binotto becomes Williams' team principal, will they become champions within 3
I'm about to say
years?
as well. Guess who you think's in the GC as well? Guess what cost me?
Oh yeah, guess which cast member said that.
yes, and you get a
Yes, Nick,
prize
we
from
should think.
Kwame if you get it right. But yeah. Anyways, let's move
Yeah,
on
me.
to his replacement. That is none other than Frederic Vasseur. Of course, Frederic Vasseur, he was of course rumored to replace Binotto anyway for quite a few weeks, and it was officially confirmed today. So of course he was previously at Alfa Romeo there for a few years, and he wasn't really that good, to be honest with you. Of course, they cooked a bit this year for like the first 8 races or so, or whatever it was. But then they just went on a complete nosedive after that, to be honest. So I'm going to come to you on this, Kwame. As a fan of every team on the grid, what do you think of Frederic Vasseur's tenure at Alfa Romeo? And you also think he's the right
Disclaimer:
Binotto
not a fan of
replacement
every
also?
team on the grid. I do not. My name is not. I'm not saying names, but I'm not another cast member. I do not think this guy is the right guy, as I said earlier. And I'm not a fan of Ferrari Red Bull either. Any other team there either. Right? But Vasseur, he hasn't impressed me in it. Like personally, he hasn't impressed me. Like I'm seeing certain men are trying to say, he made the team more financially stable. He made the team more secure. I'm not buying that. Marcus Ellison secured a longbow finance from Sweden to secure the team, and then they had Ferrari links, which got them the still of Alfa Romeo. Like that team's been a conquer of mid since I was born. Take away the being them as savage years, they've stayed the same. Like that team doesn't excite me, doesn't fill me with anything. Their driver hires have been very questionable. Even taking back then with Nish Codburn hiring 3 drivers at once, you got Vasseur now hiring Zhao and Giovinazzi. I don't get excited by that team. I've always just seemed like a mid team to me. But one thing I'll give Vasseur his credit is his driver development. So, founder of ART, Grand Prix in F2. You might probably think, why do you care? But it was a team that got through, Lewis, Rosberg, Hulkenberg, Shaw for a bit as well, and he's got a good relationship with Shaw, which he built through in Race Saber. So I think that would be a key play to see when he joins Ferrari as team principal, because I think you'll see a big number 1, number 2 dynamic with Shaw being number 1 and Sainz being number 2. In the past, but not so. We've seen there's been kind of beef between the mechanics and the team between Shaw and Sainz as well. But I think he'll be there for a year, and I don't think there'll be any improvement. They'll get rid and find someone else. I feel like it's just a stopgap for whoever they've got next cooking. Like, it doesn't inspire me, isn't move. Even certain Ferrari fans in the GC were saying that the only reason they've got him is because they couldn't get one else, which I agree with. They went for Horner, he said no. They went for Seidl, he said no. So that's backup plan, which is Vasseur. He's like their first choice. They shouldn't be Seidl over this move, in my opinion.
Speak. Okay, Mahad. From what you may have seen of Vasseur, if you've seen anything of him, what qualities do you think he can bring to Ferrari, which may be of use to them?
That'd be better, kind of distinguishing who the number 1 and number 2 driver is. He wouldn't play politics there. He's going to be quite clear and be like, yo, Charles is the number 1 driver here, especially with the previous relationship he has with Charles Leclerc. So I don't think there's going to be issues regarding team orders on the track, who's going to create the strategy around. Obviously that's going to tick off Sainz, and there might be some politics going on there. But I think he's going to be quite strong-handed on that and kind of dealing with the drivers. In terms of other facets, strategy, they haven't been really good over these last couple of years. Pit stops are probably the worst pit crew on the grid. So I don't know how that improves Ferrari. I really think this is just a sideways move. I'm not really sure what benefits, apart from the benefit to Charles Leclerc. I don't really understand what benefits this brings to Ferrari, this move. And I just think Fred is a bit of a middle of the road team principal, but we'll see what happens. Because now he's at a top team and he has the resources. There's not really excuses, but I don't know. You tell me what he's good at, guys. tell me at home. Tell me whatever in the comments on this YouTube video. Tell me what's going on, because I don't know what he's good at, and I've been watching F1 for a very long time.
I mean, you said, Mohammed, that sorry, it was a sideways move between Binotto and Vasseur. So could we do like a comparison, more like direct comparison between Binotto and Vasseur, and see what team principal might have a significant advantage over the other, or where the significant disadvantages might be?
What man saying versus, yeah?
Yeah, versus, isn't it? Fight.
All right. So car development, obviously, Binotto. People management, probably Vasseur. Strategy, they're both shit. It's mid off. Pit stops mid off. Don't really matter. Even though Ferrari, it's like sometimes they're really, really good, and then sometimes they have a howler. There's no in between. There's no like
sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they put a 2 second on your head, and then sometimes they're doing like 9 seconds. I don't know what's going on with you guys. Where just like Alfa Romeo just consistently shit with pit stops. So maybe Binotto wins on that one. But playing the politics in the paddock, I haven't really heard Fred chat too much. You get me? Binotto chats a little bit still. He's got a bit of dog to him when it comes to the talk.
What, a bit of a chatty patty, yeah?
A bit of a chatty patty, bit of like he claps back at Red Bull and Mercedes. Yeah, Binotto, he's not one of those silent dons. But Fred, I heard he's a joke man. Like he's doing up comedian. He's doing up Adam Sandler and that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I would say overall, just because of the strength of the car and Binotto's expertise and stuff like that, that's something that Ferrari will miss. So I'll definitely say Binotto is a better. I think it's a downgrade actually when you think about it.
Really? But I think
people management wise, but car development wise. But you need the car, man. In Formula 1, the car's the most important thing.
But I think Vasseur's a better leader than him, though, because I didn't think Binotto was a leader.
What's he gonna do? Lead them to mid?
But that's what I'm trying to say about people management, though. Like, if you're, it's a whole kind of management, versus actual, aerodynamicist engineer. Who do you prefer? Me, I take up someone who's a good aerodynamicist engineer any day of the week over someone who's quote unquote good team manager.
It's surprising they let him leave the organization. They let Binotto leave the organization. They could have done a sideways move, put somewhere else, put him in a cupboard. You get me? Let him just stay in the factory and that. But they didn't even.
Would he have downgraded though? Usually, the way it works is that if you take a step up the ladder, you're not going down again, are you? So
no, I hear that.
I'm thinking that Binotto might have just said that. I'm thinking Binotto just said that. Well, I'm assuming if they presented him with that option where it's like, okay, we'll put you back in the factory or whatever, I'm assuming he was just like, either I stay a team principal or I don't. Like, I'm not trying to take a step back. You know what I mean? So, yeah, maybe you could consider that. That's just what I'm saying.
Do you know what they could have done? They could have put him in like a position like how they do it with, Zach Brown and Seidl were. Like, have somebody that can deal with some things and somebody deals with other, like let him keep his team principal like accolade, but kind of strip some of those duties away.
Oh, that's crazy. Like the Sopranos,
Brock Lesnar and fucking what's his
like
name?
the Sopranos.
The Sopranos. Oh, you had Junior Soprano, and he was doing up Alzheimer's and that, and then Fred Vasseur is supposed to be doing the real work. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's it, fam. That's it.
That's
man.
disrespectful. I can't even lie.
Nah, it's not because you're like you give you a bump in your paycheck and that you're in a more senior position, but we're stripping your duties, man.
They want to push it to the corner, innit? They changed your title. They changed it a little bit.
Binotto's a bozo, but I don't think he's that much of a bozo. I feel like he'd clock on, or maybe he just doesn't care. Hey, Mahad, maybe you got it. Maybe you got something in you, Mahad. Maybe you're seeing the picture.
Maybe. You never know.
So what you're saying? It should be more like of Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman sort of vibe, then.
Oh Lord,
is that what you're telling me?
That would be crazy.
Yo, TLC every time they don't score points, shit crazy. Okay, cool. Let's move on to his not quite his replacement, but sort of his replacement. That is Andrea Seidl. So Andreas Seidl was, of course, the team principal at McLaren, and of course accepted a job at Sauber Alfa Romeo, soon to, of course, become Audi as CEO, but not as team principal as well. So, Tariq, I'm gonna come to you on this. What did you think of Andreas Seidl's tenure at McLaren, and do you think it was a successful one?
I'm gonna be careful what I say because Mr. McLaren is here. But to be honest,
Don't
I
misgive this
think
guy, man.
I'll let you
Don't
cook.
misgive
I'll
this
let you
guy,
cook,
man. Speak
man.
the truth.
Cook
you
the
let me
truth, man.
cook. Will you
Yeah, cook,
actually
man.
let
Do
me
your
cook?
thing, man. Yeah, do
Alright.
your thing, man.
Tariq, cook,
say-
man.
Say no
Jeez.
more, man. Say no more, man. Sure. I can't lie to you. A lot of the stuff that we said about Binotto, I can't lie. It's a bit peak, but we can kind of apply a lot of it to Seidl. I'm gonna be so honest with you, because I don't think McLaren have done all that. I feel like it's been at a level that's been worse than Ferrari themselves as well. Because at least Ferrari have like challenged somewhat for the top spot for the drivers' championship or whatever. Despite the fact that they're Ferrari, but McLaren, they've been here for years. We know they've stunk up the joints, but there was a point where there was like real hope in the fact that they could really push on. But I think there was, from, I'd say, I'm not sure exactly what year. I'd say probably like before, around like COVID years and stuff like that, or maybe just before. Me personally, at least, I was thinking, wow, like these lot can really start pushing up, because I think they were kind of like around like winning races and getting like P2, P3 positions there every now and then. But McLaren haven't really pushed on like at all. Like there was a point where it was like AlphaTauri that was competing with them and doing well. Then it was and it's still Renault, I should say as well, that's still like in and around them. That they haven't been able to shake off Renault and all these teams and become even at least like an established P4 team behind like Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. Even Mercedes this year, with how much they stunk, they comfortably ended P3, and McLaren couldn't capitalize on that. So I haven't been impressed with McLaren, and obviously with the fact that I haven't been impressed with McLaren, you kind of look at the top and see that Seidl does have to take some blame for that. And to think about him going to Sauber now, or which is supposed to be Audi, it's a bit weird, because I'm not sure he's the guy that I would personally look at and think, okay, I want him to start up a new era in F1 and make us get to the position that we want to be, which is the top of the top. Because if you're at McLaren and you can't do it, then Audi is looking a bit peak, me personally. But to be honest, other than that, I don't see Seidl as having anything particular bad I would say like characteristics about him. I'd just say he's kind of like all round mid, to be honest. Like I don't see anything stand out in him. Yeah, to be honest.
I highly disagree, brother. I highly disagree, brother. But I'll let you cook, bro.
No. You're cooking now, bro. I'm handing you the pot now.
Say no more.
You can cook.
Say no more, man. Thank you, my brother. An appetite to week, man. But my thing is, I feel like Seidl's the best principal in F1. I've told
Wait. Stop right there. Can you explain why, please?
Okay, so if you're looking at where McLaren was just after the Maconda days, just after Ron Dennis nearly bankrupt the whole team and put them in the 9th, 8th place in the constructors. From where they were then, first Zach Brown took over, and yes, there was a bit of improvement, but it wasn't was apart. Boom, Seidl comes in, and them guys were fighting by 2020 P3 in the constructors in the space of how many years? From when they were P9, P8, fighting at the back of the grid, to now they were fighting for podiums and wins in the space of a couple of years. No other team principal in this sport in this current generation has done that. People could say Horner from 05 to 09, 10 But that was it's 05, 06, they were mid, even 07, 08. But when Newey came in with New York, that's when it started cooking. All right, Mercedes, yeah, cool, you can say that as well. But that's with Ross Bourne. That's with, you know, guys like that, man. Like with what Seidl had and with what McLaren's got, I haven't seen any other team push really good like that. Our opinions kind of stayed in the same place. Tawassov kind of stayed in the same place. Alpha Tower stayed in the same place. Saba, like you said, stayed in the same place. No other team, yes, McLaren got a lot of money fans behind them. Cool. I totally hear that. But they had a lot of fans back in the days of Ron Dennis at the end of his era. When they having people like Jost Capito coming in. It wasn't working. So I had done it before as well in the Porsche series. So I had a whole Porsche, you know, new car in Le Mans. Got them, you know, cooking. Got them winning. You know, people say Hulkenberg's a boss. You know, Brendan Hartley, boss in F1. Got them, you know, Le Mans wins. Le Mans is one of the pinnacles of motorsport. And, you know, Porsche is owned by the Volkswagen Group, who, you know, own Audi. So they know what they've got with Seidl. So I feel like it's a good move. And, you know, there's no other team principal. Issue F1, there's only 10 teams in the grid. So there's only a very small collection of, you know, principals you can look at. Yes, you can look in, you know, with the designers and whatnot, but we don't know them as fans. Let's keep it true. So we can only go by what you see. Toto, like I said, owns a third of Mercedes. That is not happening. Horner basically set up Red Bull with Dietrich, Smashes, RIP. That ain't moving happening. And that team got carried by Newey. Still carried by Newey. You know, so who else have they got that can you know come in? That knows the sport. Now, I see rumors that Alan McNish may be under Seidl, which we'll get into later. But again, that's because he's no Audi and, you know, he's been there with the Le Mans program, etc., etc. But name me a decent team, another team that they can get. Name me one. That's not Horner or Toto because that's not happening.
I can't lie, you're moving mad with that best team principal on the good shot. I can't lie to you, but Mahad.
In my thing,
I'm
okay, no, it's fine. You can go to Mahad.
not going to because man.
My thing is that I've got two questions. Like, so I acknowledge the fact that they were in. I can attribute some of their improvement to him for sure. Like I can do that, and also acknowledge the fact that he's probably one of the best principals that they could have got. But at the same time, I can't get over the fact that McLaren, in my opinion, have kind of stagnated.
That's on James Key. Mahad can attest to this. It's on James Key and it's on the design of the car. When you hear Lando and Ricardo in the you know, team radio, they're always complaining about the car not being able to drive properly. That's normally on Seidl. He doesn't design the car. He leads the operation side of the team. And okay, cool. He can take a part blame for it because he's the one who hires, you know, James Key and whatnot, you know, and yeah, he's the overall team principal. But it's mainly been on James Key design. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, okay, that's fine. We will see. In my opinion, we will see, because that leads on to my next thing as well. Is how hurt do you think that McLaren will be by the fact that they've lost Seidl?
I mean, that's what I was actually going to come to Mahad with, basically. So Mahad, how do you feel about Andreas Seidl leaving, and do you think it'll be much of an issue in terms of trying to replace him?
I mean, the thing is, they've already have replaced him. That's the point I was getting into. So they already have replaced him, and they've brought in Andrea Stella, which is more kind of like a promotion, if anything. So then that was leading to my question, which is, if they've managed to promote someone almost immediately after your team principal has moved on or whatever, and your team more or less operates exactly as normal, how influential was he? How influential could he possibly have been to the operations of that team? You know, how much of it can we then start attributing to Zach Brown rather than Seidl?
You know what? Yeah, I've been thinking about it and I've been looking through it and everything like that, and I think firstly, let me give Andreas Seidl his credit, because at the position when he did come in 2018, yeah, McLaren were in the mud. We're absolutely in the mud. We had Fernando Alonso, we had Van Dorn. We were in a complete mud financially. We were complete mud. When I mean mud, like so far behind the Red Bulls and your Ferraris and your Mercedes and so on, we weren't even in the stratosphere. And what Seidl did is managed to bring back some sort of organization within the team. So operationally, I think since he's come in, we've operated better. We have a better pit crew. We have a better just team spirit in general. We have more organization. We cut off the fat of the people that weren't really working well within the team. He's worked well with the drivers very well as well. When we had Carlos Sainz and Norris, and now with Ricardo, he tried to get the best out of it, but that's really a decision that's not in his hands, because that's something that Zach Brown did and gave him that contract. In terms of results, we did see progress. We moved forwards. We really shouldn't be in those scenarios anyway, because we really didn't have the finances or the car to be competing up there. So, like, let's say, for example, in 2020, when we finished third in constructors, we shouldn't have been there, because that was just Racing Point bottling it, because they had a Mercedes, basically. They had a pink Mercedes. We shouldn't even have been third in the championship. We just took advantage of the situation because we were operating correctly as a team, and we weren't making blunders, we weren't making mistakes, and we had reliability there. We came into the 2021 with the same exact car. We barely upgraded it, and we managed to scrape fourth. We kind of lost it at the end. We were third for a while. We were cooking, we were getting podiums, we got a win in the same car that we basically had in 2020. So resources strapped wise, not really having a good car, I think he did the best out of that situation as a team principal. It's different to other teams' principals, because like the only reason I wouldn't say he's better than Horner is because Zach Brown does half his job. Zach Brown does all the like press, he does all the doing the marketing, dealing with all the driver contracts and stuff like that. Andreas Seidl just dealt with kind of the operational side of things and overseeing the factory. Did he do a good job at overseeing the factory? I do not think he did a good job, especially entering these regulations. At the end of the day, he's James Key's boss. So you were supposed to oversee that getting built, that car. From what I heard now is basically the second Audi announced they were entering Formula One like around the summertime. He said to Zach Brown, I'm off in 2025 to go to Audi. I'm not going to re-sign with McLaren. So Zach Brown was like, okay, I made that decision now. We need to kind of find a replacement for you. And then obviously with the whole Fred Vasseur thing, that kind of accelerated it. So obviously Sauber rang McLaren and said, oh, can we get Seidl early? And then with Zach, it didn't seem like he was even bothered to let him go. He was just like, oh, I'm not gonna make you say, oh, you have to stick to your contract, because he's already kind of decided that Andrea Stella is going to be the guy that's going to overtake you, and he's made that decision months ago. So all he's done is expedited and kind of like fast up that situation. So I feel like we've got adequate replacement now. Seidl, yeah, he'll be a miss, but I don't think we'll miss a beat, if that makes sense, because Andrea Stella was already doing majority of the job that Seidl was doing. He's his number two, basically. So we're not gonna lose a beat operationally. We might. It really depends on how Andrea Stella, because he was an on-track performance guy, he was dealing with everything that was going on the day-to-day on the racetrack. Can he transition to overlooking the factory and seeing what's going on with the development side of things? With Andrea Seidl, look, he's got history with Sauber. He was there at BMW Sauber days, I think, with Vettel on that. So he was there 4 years. He lived there. He's got these connections. He's going to be there for. He knew he already made his decision. The second Audi came in, he was at Porsche already. He's part of that Volkswagen group. It was a no-brainer. He was going to go regardless. So Zach Brown already knew this guy's a goner from the summertime. Probably most of the team knew that he was a goner. So it's just been all accelerated because of the whole Fred Vasseur situation. But I'm more hopeful. I'm not really one of those guys that, oh my God, it's all over. It's just the same old stuff, because at the end of the day, the target's not now. The target's like 2024, 2025. It's not really now. So let me just see what this Andrea Stella guy is saying. He's known in F1, seen him about. He's good at his job. We'll see where it goes from here.
Okay, so sticking with you, Mahad, so more on Andrea Stella. What is your realistic expectations for him then? Because with quite a few people, they don't know who he is or what his background is. Obviously, of course, people who don't know, he was previously at Ferrari. He was the race engineer for like Schumacher, Kimi Räikkönen, Fernando Alonso, stuff like that. So what sorts of realistic expectations do you have for Andrea Stella though?
Well, with Andrea Stella, like he was already there. He's been in the organization longer than Andreas Seidl and Zach Brown, so he's kind of embedded within the organization and he knows the ins and outs of the place. So in terms of on-track performance, like between the drivers, between the performance of the team in general, because he was the performance director anyway, a lot of the credit has to go to him on where our performance was in terms of like strategy and pit stops and like driving performances and stuff like that, especially with the progress of Lando Norris within the team, because he's been working with Michael Schumacher, Kimi Räikkönen, and Fernando Alonso in their prime days, especially with Kimi Räikkönen winning his title and Michael Schumacher winning his title. He knows how to develop drivers, so I don't think I'm going to have any issues with how he integrates Oscar Piastri within the team and how he works with Lando Norris. I don't think that's going to be a problem because he's already there. He already knows them. It's really about how he integrates well with getting that car developed, because he's not really worked on that side of things. He's been working on track. So it's a good thing when you get a team principal that's within your team, because you don't really need to worry about them settling in and understanding how things work. And there's not really any bedding in time for him as well. It's just about, okay, how does he approach us getting this new wind tunnel next year and how we start building cars from 2024 onwards. So let's just see how that goes. And I think a good team principal, like how, like how Horner does it and how Toto do it, they're just good at hiring people to do those types of jobs. So let's just see who he hires to oversee that. And if he thinks James Key is that guy to carry on with it, me personally, I think we need to make moves and look for more aerodynamicists and car designers to see where we go from here. Even though James Key has made good cars previously, I just think he had a bit of a honker with this one.
Okay, cool. Okay, Kwame, I'm gonna come to you on this. Is there anything that you may have seen from Seidl's tenure that you may think Stella should approach differently? Let's say, for example, James Key. Me personally, I don't rate James Key, for example. So I think, look, he should get bent off. But do you maybe think there's some things that maybe Stella should come in and change, or do you think it should be a case of just keep everything as it is and just maintain how things are, basically?
Is mic on? Is mic on me? Just need to double check. Mic on me?
Is this camera on me? Yeah, it is, bro.
Yeah, it's on. Cool. I feel like I agree with basically what Mahad said. I feel like the kind of the way McLaren is ran as an organization now, I feel like it's in a much better position. It is now under Seidl compared to when it was under Ron Dennis. So I feel like end of Ron Dennis tenure. I think that clear. So I feel like if I was Seidl, I would keep that kind of the whole operation, the whole track side, the whole kind of the way the team structure, the way everything kind of being streamlined, the way they are now kind of also diverting into other motorsports as well. But in terms of F1, again, I agree with Mahad. I feel like the biggest issue has been their actual track car. Like the strategy this season, okay, every team strategy hasn't been great, but their strategy has been better than certain teams like Alfa Romeo, who obviously comparing Seidl to Vasseur. So I feel like they just need to look at the aerodynamics of the car, look at the way the car is, being made, and I feel like they need to just tailor it to their drivers. Just tailor it to Lando. Lando, you've seen he's very good at driving tough, bad cars. He said himself with his results. You've got Starboy and Piastri. So I feel like I just need to kind of tailor it to their drivers and to the tracks as well. And James Key hasn't done a good job. Personally, I would been, but again, it depends on Andrea Stella to see what he does. He's also, he's a guy who's like Mahad said, he's done the whole race engineer performance track side for McLaren, also for Ferrari as well. Back in their Santander 2012, 10 days around then. So, he's got experience of, doing that side of the track. So I do have faith in them in that side when it comes to strategy, when it comes to reliability of car operations. It's just the pace of the car, they need to get sorted, which obviously that doesn't fall down to him, but he oversees that part of the track and how they delegate, different roles in the team. But it's operationally in the McLaren's calming, it's just getting that, faster car to get close to the top of the field.
Let me address something though. I've seen a lot of people making it out like it's a grave disaster for McLaren. Oh look, Andreas Seidl's gone. So blah blah blah. But when we did have Andreas Seidl, you weren't rating, so I don't really understand why would it be a loss. And
that's my. Yeah, I think that was...
it's weird. It's like a weird kind of anomaly here. Like people weren't rating Andreas Seidl. Now he's left McLaren are in the mud. How does that make sense? Same way, Lando Norris, he's overrated, blah blah blah. But then, Lando Norris should leave McLaren. His team is not going to progress, blah blah blah. But I thought he didn't rate him. I thought he was overrated. Pick a side, B. Same with the.
I can't lie. Pick a side, man. You can't be bloods and kids, man. Pick a side. I feel like
you can't call Seidl shit. Then you can't call Seidl shit, and then the team's in the mud when he leaves. You can't say,
I feel like
overrated, but then he should get up out of there. How does that make sense? If he's correctly rated, he should just stay at the team, right? I don't understand.
Yeah, it makes no sense
well,
to me.
Clearly,
I think.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Clearly, he's highly rated on the paddock. Even though I, personally, I'll take back the fact that I said he's mid. I wouldn't say he's totally mid, but I just think that he's not at that top level. I say he's like above average, maybe at best. But yeah, like Mahad's point is completely right. Like the fact that we can't be sitting here and playing both sides and saying that he's not that good, but also McLaren are completely in the mud. Like I made the point that I think he's okay-ish, but McLaren are still going to be fine without him. That's the whole point. Like McLaren will still be fine without him. I think the procedures will still be the same, and the changes that they need to make aren't necessarily within his prerogative, I should say. Like if they need to get in James Key, then Zach Brown brings in if they need to get in someone other than James Key, then Zach Brown brings in someone other than James Key. You know what I mean? So I just think that it should be all right for them, McLaren.
I don't think it rocks the boat at all. I didn't really understand the overreaction to the whole thing, and like I'm hearing like Lando Norris to Red Bull. How's that a better situation? If you're a Lando fan, how is that a better situation for you? I don't really understand. I don't get it.
It's the internet for you, bro.
Yeah, I feel like with McLaren, people are not looking at how they're structured. Like compare them to like an Alpine, who is their close competitor. Alpine have got a similar dynamic where they've got the CEO in Rossi and they've got the team principal Otmar. Yet with Alpine, there's a lot of politics and dispute going on that constantly keeps happening. I haven't seen another McLaren. So, you haven't seen McLaren doing politics. You haven't seen McLaren doing beef with, yes, because they're more of a, independent team compared to Alpine. Got a lot of ties to the French government level. But people to look at that rather than just looking at the name. Because you don't know a certain name means that he's dead. Like it's not the case. I mean, like I said, he's been at McLaren for a while. Was behind Seidl. Was also at Ferrari. I've seen him drive like Alonso doing tweets. I never seen Alonso doing tweets until this season. Man's doing I rate this guy. Good luck in that job. So the fact that he's rated on some certain drivers and has worked with Alonso, worked with Schumacher. I think he'll be fine. I feel like again, McLaren's like a very well-drilled team with every structure. You've got Zach Brown doing the CEO, the PR stuff, all that things there. You've got Seidl doing the track stuff, and I think that structure will remain the same. So I feel like they've got everything in plan. So they'll be all right. They'll be Gucci out here. McLaren fashion world.
Yeah, to be fair, if people want to say McLaren's in the mud, the reason why McLaren is in the mud because they don't have an engine. They don't have an engine supplier. Like they've got Mercedes, but they haven't got their own independent. You don't win an F1 without an engine supplier right now. So them fumbling the Audi deal is why they're in the mud.
True. That's true. Cool. Let's move on to the last change of the day, and that is Jost Capito. So, of course, he left Williams as CEO and team principal. And also some other don called, was it FX Demison or whatever? He left too. So, Kwame, I'm going to come to you on this as a partial Williams supporter, allegedly. What's your thoughts on... what's your thoughts on Jost Capito's tenure at Williams? And do you think, did he actually maybe improve them slightly?
It was very underwhelming. I felt like there was a lot of hype that came into just when he first joined Williams. Coming from Volkswagen, he's the head of motorsport there, and they were cooking up in rally. Again, similar to how Porsche were new in Le Mans, VW were new in rallying, and they took over the likes of Ford and started cooking in the field. So yes, this is a different type of motorsport, but it's still motorsport, and you're still the head of that team. So the fact that you come down to Williams, a team that, yes, they've been underfunded and they've been struggling, in the past with Frank and Claire. They've got new owners in Jost Capito. We've got links, royalty. They've got, new money coming in. So you think that they would improve, and they simply haven't. They've still been at the back of the field. And this year, I feel like a lot of hope is in Williams because the new regs. And at the start of the season, they may be a bit improved, but no, they're still at the back of the grid. And, yes, they've been getting, more points as they go on through the past 3 or so seasons, but that's not enough, especially when you have a big name in, a lot of money coming in. Very underwhelming. And yeah, again, this is a guy who was previously in McLaren as well, before Seidl came in. And, his situation is a bit different because when Zach Brown came in, he just got rid of all the guys who've won. But he's a big name talked about in the motorsport paddock. It's been this, sport for a long time now. He's coming to retirement. He was actually in the time before he got to the job. So, yeah, it's a shame they didn't work out for him. Be interested to see who Williams go next. Same with FX as well, who them two come as a pair. He was his designer as well in Rally, which it's very interesting that you've gone for a Rally, designer for an F1 car design.
That's a howler. Are you crazy? That, bro, what? I don't care,
Just
man. You're entering new regs and you're hiring a guy that builds rally cars for F1 car. What's going on, right?
What's them backwards? That's all it is. Swear down. Okay, cool.
That's like me going quick fit. That's like me going quick fit for a remap. Bro, you're in the wrong place. Polar bear in Arlington, Texas, bro. What's going on?
Yeah,
but no, before I finish the topic though, Williams, they might be don't say cursing, that's very harsh, but they're an interesting team in it because they've had so many rebounds in the past. They've had people like Pat Simmons try to come in, Paddy Lowe try to come in, Mike Coughlin try to come in. This has been in the span over 10 years, race winners in it, and they have still not gone to the level they should be in it. So they might have had a good cost since 2004.
No. Williams might be serious.
About them.
Well, Kwame, Williams might be serious.
Cook.
You know why Williams might be serious? Yeah. This is a left take. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. Williams, would have never got rid of before Claire Williams would have got rid of Jost in that scenario. They probably said to my man Capito, they said, "We're hiring you. By the end of 2022, we need to be reaching these markers." Obviously, he's failed those markers. They got rid of that. And they said, "We're moving in a different direction. We'll get somebody else." What Williams used to do is just like stagnate and just like deal with mediocrity and stuff like that. The fact that even Capito he was capping for Latifi as well, whole year, that's sackable offense in itself. Because you was pretending like he's a good driver. We ain't gotta lie, Craig. We don't need to do this. Just tell him he's mid and keep it stepping, man. Like,
just sacked him immediately.
He deserves sacking just for that.
I'm sure,
So let's see who they bring in. Actually, do you know, before I say they're serious, let me just wait until who they bring in. Let me wait.
Don't be surprised. They're making a button, man. Don't be surprised. So
sticky one, Steve.
So,
anyways,
I was thinking because we ain't had no suggestions as to how or who is going to replace these two. So should we do a little brainstorm? Should we just like maybe think about what could possibly be happening and who possibly could come in? Because I did mention Binotto earlier. And while it sounds really, really funny, it might be something that Williams are considering. So I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on that.
I don't think he goes there, me personally.
I don't think
To be
he
honest.
I think so.
I can't imagine Binotto in Middle England going Greg's before going work.
It's true, you know.
Going to the
But
Williams.
not over the sausage roll.
Married to Maranello.
You know, he's been eating good in Maranello, that pasta, you know, fresh mozzarella. Man's gonna be now he's gonna be on the M1 going to Williams. Getting a pasty and coffee.
Sausage and bean pasta, cuz.
Gotta start moving like Di Maria, stage robberies on his own house to get the fuck out of it.
Man's like, get me to AlphaTauri. Get me somewhere, man.
Give me AlphaTauri now, bro.
Get me back to Italy.
That downgrade in life from Maranello to Milton Keynes, that downgrade.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't do that.
That's crazy.
But yeah, for real, like, I think it maybe a lot of people have been saying it. Jensen Button, man, he's already there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an advisor. He's a senior advisor. Yeah. So
what? So from advisor,
give it to
advisor
Jensen.
to team principal.
But to be fair,
I don't know, man. That doesn't sound like ambition to me.
In Extreme E.
Let me put my ambition.
Well, where are you gonna get somebody from? IndyCar? Like, I don't know.
Might have to be.
There's not many about, man. There's like what? I know they're American, innit? So they might go for somebody in the car. They might go for like somebody from Formula E, like a team principal from there. You're not going to be able to pull anybody from the.
That's Wolf. Reload it.
Yeah, the back of the grid. B.
I guess that's what.
Wolf. Who you say?
Susie Wolf. Reload it.
Susie Wolf.
That's a Susie Wolf.
Okay.
Who's Claire Wolf, bro?
Who's Claire? All right, Toto got a mistress we don't know about.
Kwame leaking the sightings. Oh shit!
Yeah, man's leaking sightings.
Very
Of course, Kwame
Claire,
knows
man.
about that. So,
I say give it Yo Gotti.
No, all jokes aside though, we've seen a lot of teams go picking keepers from Le Mans and rallying as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's especially what they've done a whole clear out of the top Williams. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring someone new rather than try to, promote from within. So yeah, look at Le Mans, IndyCar, Mahad said rallying. Don't be surprised if it's feel like that.
Hey, give it
It's surprising though.
man.
But it's funny to Jost Capito because obviously he used to be at VW who own Porsche. Obviously Porsche are rumored to buy Williams as well. So it could be another guy from Porsche or VW who could come in. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe I'm Nish. I don't know what they're going to do.
Hi, Kwame, man. That's it, man. Keep it moving.
yeah, put Kwame in, bro.
Hey, we know who Kwame be hiring.
Pitstop Williams Racing, man.
Pitstop Williams.
Let's
Let's go, man. Can't find it, man.
You know who Kwame be hiring, bro.
Yo, Williams, man. Let us cook, man.
Williams looking like JD,
bro. We know Bristol not far.
Williams looking like JD and Hooters.
I would fry Homer in the press conference. Oh Lord of mercy.
Man said it's gonna start looking like a Hooters, bro. Are you mad? Man, Kwame's gonna single-handedly.
No.
Kwame's gonna single-handedly bring back grid girls, fam.
We're not doing that. I'm not Bernie. I'm not Flavio. I'm not doing anything.
Look, bro, I'll play Chief Keef from the paddock.
Love so
all days, bro. I'll play Fanito, bro. On a loop.
Hey, I'm with it still.
Hey.
You're sick.
Don't
let us on the paddock.
Williams finally win a race. They go up to the podium. They're playing the anthems. But for Williams, it's Playboy Carti, Kelly K.
Oh, wow.
For those that don't know, for the listeners, go search up that song, play it.
If you know the backstory,
as you hear it, you'll know.
If you know the context, that's all I'm going to say that much about that song.
Have Logan Sargent playing Ye Fam. Shit.
On the podium, we only request Ace of Spades. That's it. No
What
champers.
do you say?
Only Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
None of that Ferrari wine. We don't need that.
Yeah, we don't need that Robbie Sparkle on. Shit.
Everyone needs a celebrity shareholder though, low key. Off topic, but
Michael B. Jordan.
What? Michael B. Jordan? That's yes.
Hey, come on, man.
Hey, going from Laurie Harvey to Dominic Solanke's crazy boy.
Oh, Lord.
Hey,
He chipping
He's going on a tour, bruv.
He chipping
That is a crazy tour.
hey, Lighties on us for.
Hey, that's a crazy portfolio. Imagine he bought Williams and just everybody's lights. Just fucking all the pictures, man. All the pictures,
Hey, that's
man.
Kwame's reruns.
Yo, he's gonna have Lewis knocking at his door just on his knees begging like, please sign me.
I need gassed up lighties as the team principal. Okay. Williams team principal, gassed up lighties. Lewis number one driver. Just bare lighties everywhere, man. Fuck it. Williams take over, man. Just bare Drake getting played at all times.
Drake getting played at all
Rose.
times. Bit of a sake as well. Don't forget about that.
You my treasure still
The second driver, is for someone from Love Island as well.
Uniform is just flared
First time
trousers
in a
everywhere.
long time.
First time in a
long time. First in 10 years. Hurting deeply inside.
Trust me. Shots, man. Gassed up lights, Williams. We're doing it.
Hey, Ice Spice Logan Sargent World Champions 2024 bookie. You thought I was racing you? The niggas are much.
How can I lose if I'm already chose?
I spice Michael Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton. I know I'm choosing. Hey,
listen.
I know who Michael
No,
is.
listen, I'm telling you right now, yeah, by the time we upload this pod, yeah, somebody's gonna make like a half photo of Ice Spice with Lewis Hamilton.
That's it, man.
And just quote to it. Just if you get to listeners, if you get to this point, you listen to this part, and you don't make that picture, you're not a real fan.
Yeah.
I need to see
edit
quotes.
right now.
I need to see that right now, but not us. We need the listeners to do it.
Lewis Hamilton, how can he lose if he's already chose, man?
How can I lose if I'm already chose? Like,
hey, listen.
That's it, man. That's the episode. Ice Spice.
How can I lose if I already drove? Hey.
Oh yeah, that's the name of the episode, bro.
Hey.
Need
Hey,
air
that's right there, you know. No. Hey, listen. Let's move on to listeners' questions.
Listeners' questions, yeah? Let's say
yeah. Cool. Okay, first one is off _Uzair Saeed _. How long do you think Vasseur lasts at Ferrari before he gets sacked? And do you think his sense of humor will be welcome in the red team? Or would it only lead to a sacking being sooner rather than later? I'm open the floor.
They're saying he's a personality hire.
I said James Corden. I said backseat
It's going to be doing carpool karaoke over the radio. Whole time the Kirk is trying to get instructions, trying to find out what his tires are looking like. Man's just singing the Italian anthem over the radio. Oh my days, man.
Man shouting on the radio, plan C. No,
plan C, plan C. Should we go soft or mediums? No, plan D, no plan D.
I think it's going to be a disaster, and I think he's going to get sacked in less than 2 years, man.
You know them gal who were like, oh, if a man can make me laugh, he can laugh me into bed. Is that what basically man's trying to do? Yeah,
that's what man.
Just make them laugh and just grab the results.
He charmed his way into Ferrari.
Hey,
must have had the best interview ever.
Every time he gets called to a team performance meeting, he's like, oh, he'll crack some jokes. And like, oh, don't worry about that 12th and 13th in the last race. Poor performance. Hey.
What did they say? Fred Vasseur, man, he was just walking around the paddock bare fast, man. Just looked busy. Ironed. He's always busy. He's always running up and down. Walk fast, man. Everywhere you go, man. That's life lessons.
Hey, it's tricky though. It's true. Okay, cool. Next question is of Susanna21. McLaren's looking peak thoughts. I mean, we've already deep dived now, haven't we? So
Yeah, they're not looking peak.
No,
They're gonna be fine.
Shouts to Susanna. Love Susanna, but yeah, we're not in the mud. Overreaction.
she hopes she's in the mud, but
Portugal's in the mud. Portugal's in the mud. But let's get
That's what I'm trying to hear.
Susanna, you've got till Monday 9 a.m. to respond.
Countries in though. That's a 7.5.
I'll bring a country. I apologize, Susanna. I apologize. My country don't even exist, so I can't even do anything. I can't dispute that.
Shit.
Oh, shit's crazy. Okay, next question is off. Was it Leonce? I can't even say. Navy SEALs anyway. And their question is: we'd love to have a general prediction / expectations early next year based on what we saw this year in off-season rumors. Well, if you are a fan of the pod, we do that every year, and this weekend we're gonna release the predictions review of all the predictions that we made. It was roughly before preseason or after preseason, so that some people did it before, some people did it after. But yeah, that'll be dropping soon, and then we'll do the 23 ones in February. So stay tuned for that one. So next question of Benjamin _ rate current grid team principles 1 out of 10. For more context, whoever's recording should each rate current team principles 1 out of 10 or just 1 out of 5 if it takes up too much time. Let's do top 5 because we don't care about the whole grid. So top 5, top dome, Mahad.
Horner, Seidl, Toto. See, I don't really rate him, but I'm gonna have to put him there. Otmar, I don't really rate him though. And right, I'm rattled right now, but they ain't Fred. I'll tell you that now.
Mike Crack, maybe.
I've only seen him 1 year. Mike Crack. This is hard because there's so much mid on this grid.
That's my top. That's what we have to do. Top 5.
I can just about do top 3. Just about do top 3.
Kwame, you do top 15, bro. Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know why is Kwame like that, bro.
Kwame's top fronted, man.
He can list like 20 off the top of his head.
He'll be naming dons from the 70s. Come on,
Kwame,
man. Let's be serious,
man. Okay, cool.
Hey, do you know what I'm saying? I'm saying Steiner 5.
Right. Okay.
Look at your face when I said that.
Finish, man.
Wow.
To be fair, though, with Steiner,
like
from what certain man was saying, it was the same reason why they were Vasseur. That's all I'm gonna say in it about keeping the team steady.
Steiner used to cook at Red Bull. Let them talk there, man.
Yeah.
So top 10, bro. Go.
Yeah,
go, bro.
Seidl 1. 2. Jeez. I'll go Horner. 3 Toso. And after here, it gets a bit sticky. My crack. Don't want to put on my. Nah. 4. I put.
When did we get Mike Crack properly?
Richard's hitting Mike Crack is, yeah.
Well, hey, listen, they've approved you now.
Mr.
Piss, bro.
Otmar 4. Yeah, that's G. 5. Boy, it's so hard on me. Okay, Mike Crack still, because all the other guys I don't anyway. 6 and 7, I'll go Vasseur and Toss.
Bro, we're only doing top 5, man. What are you doing 10 for?
Nah, Kwame's itching to do top 10, bro. Let him cook.
This is really tough, man.
Kwame, stop doing top 10, bro. Say. Let's do.
8. 8. 8 probably. What's this? You I forgot. 8 I got. No, 8 I got Steiner still. Then 9. Who I got left?
Toss? You forgot your boy Toss?
There's two team principals that don't have a job anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yes, I'm done. So now it would be Capito, Binotto. Yeah, so that's it. It's only top 8. I couldn't remember.
Nah, say nothing. Then. Say nothing, Combs.
Okay.
Tariq, top 5, brother.
Top 5. It's a bit peak, but I think I'm gonna have to go Horner first, which is peak because I think literally all of us have said Horner first, and it's hurting me on the inside for real.
Not me.
No.
Deeply inside.
I'll be shameless.
Yeah, so Horner first, I think Toto second. I mean, can we talk about Binotto though? I mean, he was in a job like last month, fam.
Yeah, you can put him in.
Include him if you want.
Yeah,
I guess so.
You put
I
him
think
over Seidl, innit?
I think Seidl, yeah, but I can't lie. Past Horner and Toto, after that you're just rating mid. It's just a mid off after that, so it's long. But I have to put
you know what it looks like? Rating team principles, like all the England manager.
rating England managers.
Rating English
Yeah.
managers. Like I ain't got time for this, man. I'm seeing Allardyce. I'm tired.
They're all just mid, bro. Exactly, yeah. So I said Horner, Wolf, Horner or Toto, we should say. And then I think it will be Seidl, Binotto, and I'll go with Steiner instead of Safnar. That's
Okay.
5, right?
Yeah,
that's fine.
fine.
Yeah.
The fact that the fact that Otmar and Simon on the top 5 it's a joke.
That's how you know that this is just
this sports in the mud.
crazy.
Okay, cool. I'll give mine. So I'll say Horner, Toto, Seidl, Mike Crack, and Binotto. Oh, you're the niggas shit. I can't lie. I can't give a fuck. Franz Tots, who is that, bro? Like, yeah,
he's been terrorizing Gasly for years.
He will never get ratings from me for as long as I live. I'm telling you right now. He's the biggest op. He's the biggest op. You ever seen
this
that?
This guy's literally tried to ruin Gasly and Yuki's lives this year.
Exactly.
It's true, no. It's true. Okay, next question. Off the conscience, which teamers are you most excited to see on and off track? George v. Lewis, Carlos v. Charles, Pierre v. Esteban, or Fernando versus Lance?
There's only one answer for that. I think we all know exactly what answer that is.
Well, that's
exactly what it is. Big G, PG10 versus Esteban.
Man said the baguette wars.
Yeah, man.
The croissant derby.
The fondue fight.
It's either between them or Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, because Lance Stroll might kill him.
Yeah, he might catch body steal.
The croissant battle, fam.
Nah. No, the internal politics.
If that car is good as well, it's gonna get nuts.
I know, fam.
Facts.
They are
Kwame
not
don't
listening
believe
to
it,
team
though.
orders, nothing.
Kwame has personally taken it upon himself to tell me that Alpine are not going to develop a good car and that team is mid. But I'm not listening. I'm telling you right now. I don't.
No. Here's the thing. The car will be fast, yeah, but it'll blow up. That's the thing. The car will be fast,
but that means
Kwame,
you don't understand. That means for at least 7-8 races, these men are cooking.
Exactly.
They're going to be fighting each other.
Exactly.
No, these men are going to be fighting for podiums.
Podium.
So these men are going to be fighting for podiums. It'll be that, but the car will be blow up when these men are going for overtake. The car will just dismantle just there. But it'll be lit, and I will love it. And
It'll be lit, exactly.
I want to see chaos.
PTA driving, man.
There you go. Need for Speed Underground too.
This guy, you know. Right. So
what was the question again? Oh yeah.
I would just say what team was. Yeah.
I answered for everyone. Don't even worry about them. I answered for everyone.
Yeah, it's that, and then Fernando Alonso Stroll second. That's it.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, you just want to see Fernando. You just want to see another pack in it. You want to see Stroll roll up another pack.
Bro, Stroll's retired bare man.
Yeah, exactly. Stroll's rolled up bare packs.
I got Stroll and Alonso stock, but I hate Aston Martin. It's crazy.
Hey, that was me with George last. That was me with George last year. I had bare stocks in George. I was fuming. I was sitting in Nobu eating the best food, just angry, eating off my stocks. It was crazy.
It's just crazy, you know. Crazy. Okay, next question of fifth wheel _ F1. Will Vasseur fix Ferrari? We've kind of already answered that. Okay, here's a different one. Will McLaren be able to retain Lando with the loss of Andreas Seidl? Mahad, I'll come to you on this, bro. I think I know the answer.
He's under contract, isn't it?
1 month and lifetime deal, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Lando's the type of guy that will go to another team to be second driver. Why?
Isn't he on the Supermax, or am I?
He's on crazy money. People, I think it's all outdated. He's the third highest paid driver in F1.
He's on 20 mil now.
He's on 20 something.
Fair enough.
The second Ricciardo got 15, he went to his agent and said, re-up right now. People don't understand the reason why he signed the contract. They were like, why did he sign the contract? Why is it so long? This brother got paid out. Got paid like a top 3 driver. And it's for a long ass time. Everybody's got all these young drivers got long ass contracts now. That's just how it is. About retaining these services, I don't think McLaren worry about that type of stuff, to be fair. They shouldn't really worry. They've got Oscar Piastri there as well. So what's the issue? I can't remember a time where McLaren hasn't had an elite driver, at least one elite driver, even through their mud in the last like 40 years. So I'm not really, it's not really a thing. And I think he's just going to keep driving there. If he wants to leave, he can leave. But they got to pay for him, you get me? We need to slap up a release clause, man. We need to turn him into like Neymar or something. Put a high-ass release clause, pay out.
Yeah. We're saying it's a bit like Velasco with their strikers, yeah? There was a one elite striker no matter what.
I put him in a Naki Williams contract, bro. 10-year team.
Shit.
Boy.
10 years, you know.
Let me not speak about that, brother, man. Let's be real, man.
Kwame Williams getting upset, you know. It's crazy, you know. All right. Some of these questions we've kind of already answered them, but moving to the last question. That's off David SB4 _ When are you replacing Anik with someone reasonable who isn't going to give Ferrari and Leclerc a bad name weekly? I mean, well, for starters, Anik is yeah, that's it. We've got Chris. For starters, we can't get rid of Anik for legal reasons.
That's so funny because Anik is nowhere to be seen right now. We've actually had a peaceful, nice pod. No Anik mentioned, fam. Anik is a terrorist, for real.
Why is he hated by his own fan base? Anik, why are you hated by your fellow Ferrari fans? I can't understand.
Hey, it's peaking now. Could be me, dude. But yeah, cool. Right, let's end the pod then. Okay, so thanks if you got this far, listeners. Please make sure to also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok under the handle Pitstop Fracas. Make sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify under Pitstop Fracas. Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube under, of course, Pitstop Fracas. So I think this will probably be the second to last pod of the year that we'll be dropping, and then we'll drop another one on the weekend. And then, that'll be all standing till February, when PCs and whatnot will kick off. But, I think that's all for now. But, peace.